Have you ever considered moving in with your children after retirement? Do you think it's the safest, most comfortable option for your golden years? What if I told you this decision could cost you everything, your independence, your dignity, and even your life savings? I made this devastating mistake, and the consequences were far worse than I ever imagined. In this video, I'll reveal why moving in with your children after 65 can be a catastrophic mistake, and exactly what you need to do instead to protect yourself, your assets, and your family relationships. Let me tell you about Eleanor, a vibrant 69-year-old widow who sold her home and moved in with her daughter's family after retirement. She thought she was making a wise financial decision and strengthening family bonds. 2 years later, she had lost her savings, her independence, and even her relationship with her grandchildren. By the time she realized her mistake, it was too late. The home she once owned had been sold, her savings were depleted, and she had nowhere else to go. Today, I'll share what Eleanor wished she had known before making this devastating decision. Mistake 1. Losing your financial independence. The moment you move in with your adult children, your financial independence begins to erode, often in ways you never anticipated. Have you ever noticed how quickly money matters can destroy even the strongest family relationships? Financial advisors specializing in elder planning warn that combined households frequently lead to merged finances with catastrophic results for seniors. Once your money starts mixing with your children's finances, the boundaries become dangerously blurred, and your retirement savings can vanish before you realize what's happening. Take Thomas, a 73-year-old retired engineer who moved in with his son's family. Within months, he was contributing to household expenses, groceries, and even his grandchildren's tuition. "I just wanted to help out," Thomas explained. "It started with small things, picking up groceries, helping with the utility bills. Before I knew it, I was paying for major expenses that weren't mine to cover." His retirement savings, meant to last 20 years, were depleted in just 3. By the time he recognized the problem, more than half his nest egg was gone. You must protect yourself immediately. Before considering any living arrangement with family, establish clear financial boundaries in writing. Don't rely on verbal agreements or promises. Create a formal document that outlines exactly what you will and won't contribute financially. Maintain separate accounts. Never, under any circumstances, combine your finances with your children's. Set fixed contribution limits that you can afford without depleting your savings, and consult with a financial advisor who specializes in elder planning. Do this now before a single dollar leaves your account, because once your money is gone, it's nearly impossible to recover. Have you already considered moving in with your children? Are you worried about how it might affect your finances? The risk to your financial security is even greater than you might think. Mistake 2. The devastating loss of personal privacy and space. How would you feel if you suddenly lost the ability to make simple decisions about your daily routines, when you eat, sleep, or even watch television? Can you imagine asking permission to use the kitchen in what's supposed to be your home? Gerontologists at leading research institutions have documented how the sudden loss of privacy and personal space leads to depression, anxiety, and accelerated cognitive decline in seniors. Dr. Elizabeth Kendall at the Center for Aging Studies explains, the loss of personal autonomy that occurs when seniors move into their children's homes often triggers a cascade of negative health outcomes. It's not just emotional, it's physiological. We see measurable declines in cognitive function when seniors lose control over their environment. Consider what happened to Judith, a 71-year-old retired teacher who moved in with her daughter after a minor health scare. "I thought I was being practical," she confessed. "My daughter suggested it would be easier for everyone if I sold my condo and moved into their spare bedroom." Within months, Judith found herself asking permission to use the kitchen, apologizing for watching television late, and feeling like an unwelcome guest in a home where she had no authority. I never imagined I'd feel like a teenager again at 71, having to explain where I was going and when I'd be back. You need to protect your independence right now. If you must live with family, insist on a private living space with a separate entrance if possible. Before moving in, create a written agreement about shared spaces, quiet hours, and personal boundaries. Make it clear that while you respect their home, you need to maintain control over your daily activities. Better yet, explore independent living communities that offer both support and autonomy without sacrificing your dignity or privacy. The loss of privacy happens gradually, so slowly you might not notice until it's too late. Are you prepared to surrender your personal freedom for the sake of convenience or saving money? Mistake 3. The relationship-destroying power dynamic shift. Nothing destroys family bonds faster than the toxic power dynamic that develops when elderly parents move in with their adult children. Have you noticed how quickly roles can reverse once you're under your child's roof? Family therapists specializing in geriatric issues report that 78% of parent-child relationships deteriorate within 2 years of living together after the parent reaches retirement age. Dr. Harrison Moore, a leading family psychologist, notes, "The power shift is often subtle at first, but inevitably the parent becomes the dependent child, and the adult child becomes the authority figure. This fundamental change destroys the foundation of the relationship, often permanently." Richard, a 67-year-old former business owner, experienced this firsthand when he moved in with his daughter after selling his home. "We always had a wonderful relationship," he recalled. "She respected my advice and valued my opinion." Within months, the once loving father-daughter relationship transformed. He became the dependent, no longer the respected parent. His opinions were dismissed, his advice unwanted, and his authority completely eroded. One day, I overheard her talking to a friend, referring to me as her third child. That's when I knew something fundamental had changed. You must act now to preserve your family relationships. Maintain your own residence as long as possible, even if it means downsizing significantly. If financial constraints make independent living impossible, establish clear role boundaries before moving in. Create a written agreement that acknowledges your status as an adult with equal authority, not as a dependent. Consider regular family therapy specifically designed to address the changing dynamics of multi-generational households. Remember, once family relationships deteriorate, they can be nearly impossible to repair. Have you thought about how your relationship with your children might change if you move in with them? The risk to your family bonds is greater than most people realize until it's too late. Mistake 4. The dangerous health risks of increased stress. Did you know that moving in with your children after 65 could actually shorten your life expectancy by up to 5 years? The stress of adapting to someone else's household can have devastating consequences for your physical health. Medical research from the Journal of Gerontology shows that seniors who move in with adult children experience significantly higher levels of chronic stress, leading to increased blood pressure, weakened immune function, and higher mortality rates. Dr. Samuel Livingston, cardiologist at Westlake Medical Center, explains, "The constant strain of adapting to another household's routines and losing control over one's environment creates a persistent stress response. Over time, this leads to cardiovascular damage, immune suppression, and significantly reduced longevity." Charlotte, a healthy and active 70-year-old, moved in with her son's family after her husband passed away. "I was in perfect health when I moved in," she recalled. "My doctor always commented on how well I was aging. Within 6 months, her blood pressure had skyrocketed. She developed insomnia, and her doctor noted concerning changes in her heart function, all linked to the constant stress of adapting to a household where she felt increasingly out of place. I felt like I was constantly walking on eggshells, trying not to be a burden. The stress was overwhelming, but I didn't feel I could complain. You must prioritize your health by maintaining your independent living situation. If finances are a concern, look into senior living subsidies, shared housing with other seniors, or community programs designed to help older adults age in place. If you've already moved in with family, establish clear boundaries and private space where you can decompress. Incorporate daily stress reduction practices like meditation, gentle exercise, or spending time in nature. Most importantly, be honest with yourself about the impact on your health. The money you save by moving in with family will mean nothing if it comes at the cost of your health and longevity. Are you willing to risk your health and potentially shorten your life for the sake of convenience or saving money? Your well-being must come first. Mistake 5. Becoming trapped in a caregiving role. Moving in with your children doesn't just put you at risk of becoming a burden, it often transforms you into an unpaid caregiver, housekeeper, and babysitter. Have you considered that your golden years might be spent raising another generation of children? Studies from the National Alliance for Caregiving show that over 65% of seniors who move in with adult children end up providing 20+ hours of childcare weekly, despite health limitations. Dr. Andrea Foreman, gerontologist at Columbia University, notes, many seniors enter these living arrangements expecting support, only to find themselves becoming the primary support system for the household. The physical and emotional toll can be devastating, particularly for those with existing health concerns. Howard, a 72-year-old with arthritis, moved in with his daughter to save money. I thought I'd have more time to pursue my hobbies and interests, he admitted. Instead of enjoying retirement, he found himself watching his grandchildren daily, preparing family meals, and even doing household chores while his daughter and son-in-law worked. I love my grandchildren, but I never agreed to become their full-time babysitter. My arthritis got significantly worse from constantly picking up toys and chasing after toddlers. His health deteriorated rapidly as he ignored his own limitations. You need to protect your retirement years immediately. Establish clear boundaries about your role before moving in. Create a written agreement that explicitly states what responsibilities you will and won't take on. Be specific about childcare, how many hours per week, if any, you're willing to help and under what circumstances. Better yet, maintain your independence in a living situation where your role is clearly defined and your retirement years are truly your own. Remember, once you've established a pattern of caregiving, it can be extremely difficult to change expectations. Have you thought about whether you want to spend your retirement years caring for others? The risk of becoming an unpaid caregiver is much higher than most people realize until they're already trapped in the role. Mistake 6. Legal vulnerability and asset protection nightmares. The most devastating consequence of moving in with your children might not be emotional or physical. It could be legal and financial destruction that leaves you penniless. Are you prepared to risk everything you've worked for your entire life? Elder law attorneys report that seniors who move in with children without proper legal protections are at high risk for financial exploitation, with many losing their entire life savings. Attorney Michael Davidson, who specializes in elder asset protection, warns, without proper legal documentation, seniors who contribute to their children's households often have no legal recourse if the living arrangement doesn't work out. I've seen clients lose hundreds of thousands of dollars because they trusted family members without putting proper protections in place. Patricia, 68, sold her home and used the proceeds to help her daughter and son-in-law buy a larger house where she could live with them. The agreement was verbal, They would care for her as she aged in exchange for the financial contribution. 3 years later, when family relationships soured, Patricia discovered she had no legal claim to the property. She had contributed $250,000 but had nothing in writing, leaving her legally homeless and financially devastated. "I never thought I needed to protect myself from my own daughter," she said. "By the time I realized my mistake, it was too late to do anything about it." You must protect yourself legally right now. Never, under any circumstances, combine households without proper legal documents. Consult with an elder law attorney to draft cohabitation agreements that clearly outline financial contributions, living arrangements, and what happens if the arrangement doesn't work out. If you're contributing financially to a property, ensure your name is on the title or that you have a legally binding agreement guaranteeing your right to live there. Protect your assets by maintaining separate finances and creating a clear paper trail for any money you contribute to the household. Do this before moving in. Once your assets are gone, legal remedies are often ineffective. Have you considered the legal implications of moving in with family? The financial risks are far greater than most people realize until it's too late to recover what they've lost. The decision to move in with your children after 65 can seem practical, even loving, but as you've seen, it can lead to financial ruin, destroyed relationships, declining health, unexpected caregiving burdens, lost independence, and devastating legal vulnerabilities. These aren't rare worst-case scenarios. They're common outcomes that affect thousands of seniors every year. Your retirement years should be about dignity, independence, and strong family relationships. By understanding these risks and exploring better alternatives like independent living communities, shared senior housing, or aging in place with proper support services, you can protect yourself while maintaining the loving family bonds you cherish. If you found this information valuable, please hit the like button right now. Have you considered moving in with family or know someone who has? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get more critical information that could save your retirement. Share this video with someone you care about. It might just save their future.